come away pretty disappointed on Sunday if they don't get a result.
Terry Wallace speaking with the media earlier this week on the eve of the Tigers' season opener against Carlton as Sunday Night Football makes its AFL debut right here on Fox Sports AFL. Quinton Grybas alongside of Gerard Healy. Tigers about to make their way out onto the ground. Round one for any football fan is always so exciting. A little bit more of a wait for these two clubs though, come 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. And for these Tiger fans wondering, well, are we going to be making the finals this year? Because it's been a while. They've been very, very patient, Gerard.
Well, they were ninth last year, and the expectations are, Clinton, that they will continue to improve. But it doesn't often work out that way. And they, like everybody else, starts just about even. And I think the results of round one suggest that this is going to be as even a competition as we've ever seen. We're taking a look here at the Blues. And haven't they had such a fantastic last month or so? They've got the new president on board. They've got plenty of money behind the club. And they've also got a little bit of silverware, which has given them a little bit of confidence going into this match. But what they have got right now has got enormous expectation.
Here come the Tigers, led by Captain Kane Johnson. The traditional rivals at the MCG. And they make their way through the banner ahead of what is going to be an intriguing opening round contest and plenty on the shoulders of Adam Patterson, just 21 years of age, the tall number 26 there, carrying the ruck duties now with Greg Stafford having retired.
It's a massive gamble, isn't it? They've elected not to go with Trent Noble and, of course, Troy Simmons not up and running. So it's always the way. As soon as you actually decide to let one ruckman go, you get injuries in your ruck division. And I think the Crows are suffering from the same situation. But look, the Tigers have got plenty of run. Their half-back line and full-back line have got creative players, and that's where they're going to actually, I think, determine the result. If they can get off and mind their men, keep the Blues actually down to a reasonable target, create off that half-back line, then they may be able to cover for that big man deficiency.
And someone like Brett Delidio, who's got 43 games into him now, you have to remind yourself he's still just 19 years of age, and that's why Terry's been preaching the message about 2009. They're going to be opportunity knocks. 2011 is going to be the decade where the Tigers really can have their crack.
Oh, I agree with what you're saying. Terry, I think, is being brutally honest about it. But at the same time, Brett Delidio, he doesn't care. He's just 19. He's got 43 games under his belt, and he's a young star. But he has to play more consistently. He struggled with taggers early in the season last year after a brilliant opening season. He won the Rising Star Award, of course. Then they pushed him behind the footy, where a lot of clubs are pushing their best players now, and he really did dominate that second half of the season.
And the late withdrawal for the Tigers side, Nathan Brown will not be taking his part in the team, was named to the team on Thursday. A hot spot in the area of his knee injury, which is some concern.
It is. It's bordering on a stress fracture, but just shows that there's a bit of bone activity, which suggests that the fractures come under a bit of stress as well. And they're doing the right thing and taking a very cautious approach.
Let's have a look at the teams now, starting with the Tiger forward line. And, expect to see Matthew Richardson there at full forward against Satantaro Halpin, Andrew Cracker. Richard Tambling, big things expected of him. He's set to get a new long-term contract from the Tigers, and as we've already spoken about, Halpin alongside of Thornton in the blue defensive half.
Yeah, look, the Blues defence is really solid, but the young boys up forward for the Tigers, they have to find the footy and they have to bob up with some goals. We know that Andy Cracker can do particularly well, but Richo has to, he has to kick 5 or 6 if they're to win. Pettifer had a good year last year. He has to also do well. Howard, haven't seen too much of him, but big raps on him down at the club. And they've just got to get some, with the absence of Brown, they've got to get some goals from their midfield and some of those younger players.
Luke McGuan, 20-year-old from Broadbreach, nephew of Mick McGuan, has played a couple of senior games last year. Apparently has been really carving them up during the course of the summer. Kane Ackland's made his way from Moorabbin to the Navy Blues. He'll be rucking in tandem with Cameron Cloak, another new Blue today, as we head to the half-forward line for Carlton. And, well, the old story about Lance Whitnell, is he best forward or back?
I think he's best kicking goals of the way they're structured at the present time. But the Carlton forward line looks particularly potent. Fisher has had lots of problems with injuries, but up forward he's very good. And they've also got a couple of their younger players too that can go forward. Patrick Bowden on the bench, he's got to get onto that ground pretty quickly because he was one of their gun players last year.
And here they come. Pratt. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We are the Navy Blues. Haven't they had some excitement at Carlton?
And good luck to them, Clinton. This is a club that has been down the bottom. They've been kicked from pillar to post the last 3 years, and a lot of people have had a lot of enjoyment in doing so, but the Blues fans are just lying in wait. They're lying in long reeds out there, Clinton, and they're going to start snapping back as soon as they get some incentive. And a win today, and you're going to hear da-da-da-da-da a few times this week.
Speaking of lying in wait, the centre of the screen, number 30, Jared Wade, he has been simply outstanding for them, as we know, and if he's fully fit, 13 games under his belt last year. Where does he play? He's a key defender for you?
Centre half back for sure. I mean, his run off the half back line is sensational. His kicking is not his greatest strength, but he just keeps getting better and better. And you've got to realise he did have many games out last year with the injury problems. Dennis Pagan, you know, he said in the press today, where he's very positive about his own future, not just the Blues, that it's been a living nightmare. And it has been because he's had half a dozen of his best players out. Now they've got a very solid backline, and Scotland is one that has been a good warhorse for him, but he's one also that needs to be watched because he's so creative with his hand and feet.
Nick Stevens, always so classy, 5th in the best and fairest last year, and as we said, 26 possessions a game during the course of the pre-season NAB Cup. He is ready to go for this Carlton team that won just 3 games last year and a draw, but did lose 7 of those matches by 19 points or less, suggesting that they weren't too far away in a lot of their games last year.
No, and they've proven that this year. Look, a lot of people still got Carlton in their bottom 2 or 3. I think Carlton can be competitive in that they are still a chance for the 8 deep into this season if they keep their best players on the track, and that's the same formula for everybody in the bottom half. If you keep your best players there, they've got a side competitive with just about everybody else in the competition.
Now, how's your tipping going this weekend?
I think I'm working at about 50%. Tipping is one thing, punting's another, and right now, Clinton, it's bread and water for dinner.
Well, I won't ask you to tip as Richo going to kick this goal, but who are you going for today?
I'm going to stick on the bandwagon. I think that the big man strength of Richmond is a bit of a concern, and I think that the momentum for the Blues is just continuing to build, and I think if Avola is fit and he can get 3 or 4, then I suspect they'll get over the line.
Ground level, here's Rowan Smith.
Thanks, Clinton. As we said before, it's just a picture-perfect night here. The crowd is really starting to fill up. They're starting to get very loud. When the Tigers ran out, the yellow and black was belted out very, very loudly. So I just want to mention before, Daddy Frawley said before that Richmond used to get off to a good start in round 1, but the last 2 years have probably been beaten by about a total of about 210 points. So hopefully they get a little bit better tonight, boys.
All right, Ryan, look forward to your comments throughout the course of the evening. Sunday night football is heading your way on Fox Sports when we return. Carlton and Richmond right here. Can I get a coffee, please, John? White with one in my...
Yeah.
Which one's the cough? This one?
That one. Make sure it's... 'Cause
Kane Johnson, Lance Whitnell, and a young tacker with a creative coin toss. Won by the Blues skipper. It's the city end right of screen. The new Carlton skipper.
The new Carlton skipper, and I just saw the new Carlton star. Well, he's been a star for a couple of years, as we say hello and welcome back to the studio to you, Spud. I just saw Fevelenko belt one from about 45 straight through post high, so his knee looked pretty good then.
Well, it's great to see, and I think it's fair to say whichever back line can contain the power forward from each opposition. I talk about Favola and Richardson. I think that's going to be the difference in the end. I hope both forwards get on top, and we just see there a little bit of
riding, but also a six-pack. So he's in pretty good nick, is Fev. And off the back of a star NAB Cup season, he just must be brimming with confidence, Quinton.
I reckon he would be, Jared. I reckon he is set to go, and he's going to enjoy these new rules.
Well, if you don't take front spot here, you need to head red, because right throughout this first round, Spud, we've seen plenty of free kicks paid to defenders and the forwards if they take the front spot. Darren Gasper would be a worried man right now.
Yeah, and that's why I just got a gut feel. I'm not sure where he'll play, but I just think he'll play up the ground because he looked all at sea on Otten's in the NAB Cup in round one. So we'll just be interested to see those matchups nice and early to see who goes to Favola and who goes to Whitnell.
They've got a few options down there. Josh Kennedy, they've got Whitnell that can go forward as well, and he looks like he's going to start there. It's a pretty potent forward line, and if Eddie Betts and Fisher can get a bit of it, and they don't become too Favola conscious, then they've got some troubles, the Tigers.
Well, I'm pretty sure Gasper's going to Whitnell and Joel Bowden's going to take Favola.
O'Halpin and Richardson are getting frisky. Our umpires, Matthew Nichols, Chris Camelins and Martin Ellis, are wide for sound. Sunday night football is here on Fox Sports AFL. Enjoy it.
Big job for Kane Ackland. He's got to not just win taps, but he's got to move around the ground. But been very impressed with Cameron Cloak in the pre-season.
It's Patterson of the Tigers with the opening hit out to Foley. Kane Johnson has kicked it the wrong way.
You idiot.
Kane Johnson's first kick of the year is deep into Carlton's attacking zone, and Kane was there for the coin toss.
This is amazing. This could be a strategy, though. We know that players are getting attacks off half-back, Spud, but that's taking it to too high a level.
It's fair to say he's pumped. Probably too much so, Clinton, I think.
That is stunning. Danny, they didn't do that in your day there.
Wow,
interesting matchup, though. Kane Johnson on Nick Stevens.
Here's Walker for the Blues for Carazzo, sending it to the goal square. Going to ground Kennedy. The pressure is on.
Good stuff.
That's good work by Luke McGuan in his third senior game. To midfield. Carlton with numbers. This is Murphy. Good to see him back in action. Polo had a big year last year, working with Delidio with the Crew Cup now, and Foley getting one high for a free.
Goes without saying that midfield pressure is so important, and we saw three Blues players tackle there, but it was the Richmond man that went hardest at the footy.
Tigers can look to run. The lead out to half forward. The kick is good. And this is the new Tiger, the former Docker Graham Polak starting in the forward line.
Is that a surprise, Danny?
No, it's not. And we've got Jared Wade on him as well. Great success so far in the pre-season.
This is the matchup. Richardson and O'Halpin.
Richo.
Oh, Richo! Not quite.
But you saw the strength advantage there. I mean, Satana's still just a young guy, and he's going to get a lot stronger with a few more summers in the weight room. But right now, he doesn't want to be linking arms with the big bull.
Gee, it's a good buzz around this stadium. Terrific crowd in. Up at around the 50,000 mark already, it would appear, as Kennedy gets a free.
There's that new rule there, Jared. Just touch his hands on the back there.
Well, if you take the front spot, you're going to get rewarded. And he's a player of the future, is Josh Kennedy.
Oh, and again.
Two in a row there, so the umpires are right onto it, Clinton.
This is Fisher with the free. Sending it towards half forward. And good work by Cracker. Waiting at the back was Houlihan. Now the Tigers. Foley getting plenty of it early. Going towards Richardson. And the big man's got it again.
Well, you don't mind Richardson marking the ball there. He's a long way from goal.
He drives it up towards half forward. Carlton, Thornton fly. There's a high one. It's a Carlton free.
Yeah, it was a little bit high there. There's no doubt. Went for the marking drills we see here on the replay. Hyde just went too high with the hand there over the top of Thornton there.
Scotland can bring it out towards the members' wing. Running is Carazzo. Off a big year. Looking to go. Still with space. Carazzo driving it to the hot spot at the top of the square. Favola there. Big fly from Moore to slap it away. And the Tigers are happy to concede a behind.
just watching Newman there, he was sagging off trying to help out Favola, his direct opponent Carrazzo.
And are we seeing a bit more of this in this opening round? Long kicks to big contests. It's almost like kick to kick has come back into vogue.
Well, what we've seen so far, I'm pretty excited with this game so far.
Joel Bowden put a foot over the line. In cricket parlance, that's a no ball. We'll get a bounce.
Bad signs for the Tigers. They've had their two most experienced players make fundamental errors. One kicking it the wrong way and that one a no ball.
Now, will the Tigers try to concede a behind? They do. And Joel will do it again. The new president of the AFL Players Association.
Still a runner out talking to Kane Johnson.
Another look at how he stepped out.
What do you reckon he said, Jared?
No idea, Danny, to be honest. There could be 100 different
Kick it that way? Kick it our way, preferably.
Probably the more obvious.
Tigers work it to the wing. This is Chris Hyde. Didn't miss a game last year. And a careless start opens the door for Stevens. No Blues at centre-half forward for Vola coming out after it and then collects more weight. Now we'll see what's going to happen.
It's got to be 50, you would have thought. No.
Off to Andrew Raines.
It was a great grab from Moore, just kept his eyes on the ball.
And good to see Chris Newman back for the Tigers as well. Foley getting a bit of it. Kicks a poor one. Lappin. He did well.
Brilliant Lappin. Reads it as well as anybody and knows that Richardson is going to be the target.
Favola too far out to score, although the goal square is unguarded. He loads it up, Big Fev. He gives it everything. Picking up from where he left off in the NAB Cup. Brendan Favola, last year's Coleman medalist, launches a barrel.
Well, that's just magnificent football. Well called, Clinton, because Favola, he assessed it beautifully. He took the mark 70 out. He looked up. There was no one in the goal square, and he's just gone whack with the one wood. That was a sweet spot there, Jared, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have that feeling ever in my golf games, but well done to Matthew Lappin again. It was a pretty ordinary kick going into Richardson. It should have been a shot at the other end of the ground, but brilliantly read by Lappin, who's pushing off a wing, and he just looks like he's becoming a bit of a sweeper.
Direct Blues so far, 11 kicks, 4 handballs. The Tigers 11 and 13. Free kick going Carlton's way, advantage play on. This is Stevens going for Carrazzo. Can he get around Newman? Big turning circle, pops it up. Whitnell in from the side, big leap by Ackland. Tigers with numbers back there. Little careless gasp of the soccer by Fisher. Will get a boundary throw in.
Well, it's Matthew Lappin coming in off the square again, and his direct opponent really needs to play a little bit tighter. Howard, he's a young player. He's on one of the guns of the competition when he's in form.
Hacking it out of midair. Ackland for a behind.
It's a big job for Patterson, isn't it? He normally plays half forward, centre half back. He's in the ruck, so they're desperately missing Troy Simmons at the moment.
And rucks, in this day and age, they just have become even more important. We saw Adelaide go down today against the Bombers, and they got badly beaten in the ruck division.
Newman, deliberate, and a good call.
Went straight over the line.
Stevens, Carlton full of running early. Favola sends it over, boundary throwing.
Carlton got all the momentum, yet they've only kicked the one goal. They're getting the rub of the green with the umpires, and I know it's only early, but you've really got to make the opposition pay when you've got the momentum.
Russell, Gibbs, Cloak and Wiggins starting on the bench for the Blues as Gasper in the ruck. Knocking it down. Hard to get out of there in a hurry. Going to ground was Polo. Foley for Tambling. Look at the pressure by the Blues forwards. Tigers get a free.
Easy boys, eh?
They're pretty keen to get involved, all players, but you've got to still bear in mind if you dive into a pack that you don't give away careless free kicks, because all of a sudden you're under some running pressure.
Good vision. Polo to Tambling on the wing. Wide for Richardson.
Patterson gets a rest.
Boundary throwing.
Down on the boundary line, Rowan Smith, plenty of interchange early in the match. And we'll get to Rowan.
Oh, he's just pacing himself.
Man of few words.
It's interesting, Patrick Bowden's gone straight into the ruck. He's only 6'3".
Did well with that hit out to Hyde. His handball deflected away. Lappin for Stevens. Draws the defence. Got to get rid of it now. Over the top. Caught. Good tackle on Bentic. Not rewarded. And the Tiger fans are not happy.
We'll go down again. Rowan, you used to play with Patrick Bowden. Is he capable of going into the ruck, Jules, or will he be just a ruck rover type?
what he's going to do, he's very athletic and he's got a good tank. So what he'll do is he'll just compete in the ruck and then hopefully win the ball around the ground.
Here's Mark Murphy being caught by Polo, and that one is holding the ball.
Well, that was a magnificent tackle there from Polo. The Tigers really need to put pressure on him here.
They can work it towards Patrick Bowden. Punches the handball on. This is Cameron Howard. Recent promotion from the rookie list. Tigers inside 50. Nice spoil. Waiting down Pettifer. Is a goal sneak, as we know. And that one is terrific. What a way to start the year for Kane Pettifer. Tigers get there first. Pettifer booted 31 last year, and the margin is 2 points.
Well, just great contest football. You just see the power forward in Polak go in there, and Wake did a terrific spoil, but as all good half-forward flankers, Jared, where should they be?
Well, they're front and square, but what was important was he was not just at the feet. He could almost sense that it was going to be a big whack, and he picked it up 5 metres clear, and his conversion was superb.
And we've got Schultz going forward now, and Polak. Polak's having a run in the ruck, so...
That's his best position, I think. I've seen him play there with Fremantle. He's a dangerous ruckman, and I reckon it'd be a good option to bring Cameron Cloke on to go with him.
So 2 new ruckmen there for the respective teams, Ackland and Polak, as Howard with the soccer out to the southern wing. The bounce is kind. Houlihan tucks it under the arm and runs. A bounce, 55 out, long to the hot spot. Got to beat a couple there for Vola. Kept his footing well. Eddie Betts putting the pressure on Johnson, and it's a throw.
She said Favola conscious, Danny. 2 blokes dropping back to Favola, which means possibly Lance Whitnell free.
Eddie, will he play on? He's so crafty here around the goals.
So the forward pressure from Carlton's been excellent here tonight so far. Illustrated by Betts' tackle.
And he loves this ground, doesn't he? Oh, look at that.
Eddie.
Oh, he's going to be something. Not quite goal of the year for him just yet, as he's had here previously, but it's the Blues second. They're out by 8 points.
High standard set early by Russell Robinson Friday night, but look, Eddie, no, he won't even make the final with that one. But Danny, we've got a live game here. This is going to be a beauty. Both sides are up.
Well, no doubt, Jared. All the games so far, both sides are attacking. That's what I like. There's no flooding. There's no slow possession football. Both sides are just really trying to get the ball in there.
And you can see there, pretty graphically, a good decision by the umpire. Just a left-hand give from Kane Johnson under pressure, all brought about by a darn good tackle.
How good's this has? Atmosphere.
Oh, it's a great
for these
way
two
to start
clubs
for the G. Yep. Bryce Gibbs just came onto the ground as well.
9th and 16th last year, and they've drawn a finals-type crowd.
Bryce Gibbs has replaced Matthew Lappin on a wing, so the rotation's beginning pretty quickly.
Both sides have got a loose man too, Jared. We've got Scotland at one end, Moore at the other for Richmond.
Stevens with the free, goes for Carazzo. He's got a lot of space.
It's a lot of footy too.
Gets around Tambling, could go all the way. He's 50 out, on the run, another one! Andrew Carazzo, great presence of mind there to wheel around Tambling, and the finish was good.
You're right, Marty, you're right now.
I don't know this for a fact, Danny, but you would think that a lot of coaches would have put a lot of time into guys kicking goals from outside 50, because there's just so many numbers dropping back now that if you can convert from on that forward 50 where there is some space, then it's probably the easiest spot to convert.
And I've got no doubt what I've seen so far, the speed injection of Carlton. The younger players have all got leg speed, and it was a real query on Carlton for the last 2 years, but they're running on top of the ground here at the minute.
21-7, back in the centre. Gibbs in the first 4 there now for the Blues. This is Russell who is tied up.
And Nick Stevens has got a hard tag on him with Kane Johnson. He's had 6 possessions early in the piece, so I suspect that may be why the runner was out talking to Kane Johnson, just to tighten up early in this match.
Oh, Carazzo with the hit out to Betts was special. Foley with his 8th possession defers to Howard. Gibbs with the pressure, a bounce.
No chance, tackle immediately. Thanks, Ken.
And a tool for a small rotation there.
Going, boys?
Brian Smith, Josh Kennedy off, and the youngster coming on.
Tuck, go on, Ryan.
Just down here at ground level, the pressure at Carlton putting on the players is just immense. They're really tackling very hard.
O'Halpin with the spoil on Richardson. Waite riding shotgun for him, sees Lappin and effects a good switch. The veteran Blue runs and delivers perfectly for Stevens on the wing. Momentum with them.
Got a hold of the Tigers. The Blues are sharp. They've got the momentum, as you said. And Danny, they may even think about pushing extra defenders down. They've got 2 down there mining Fev now.
Here's Stevens spearing it towards Favola. Again, he's got to beat a couple. And a boundary throw-in will be the result.
You're spot on there, Jared. You saw that marking contest there. Newman has got no disregard for his direct opponent. He's up the ground, so he's saying, I'm going to stay back and double team Favola with Bowden.
Blues attacking again with Ackland the hit out. Walker. Murphy caught high. And it's a report.
Well, I don't think he'll go anywhere with that one because Mark Murphy ducked his head.
Another example of the new rule in action about protecting the player with his head over the ball. That is what Murphy had, and Luke McGuan in just his 3rd senior game, and his name goes in the book.
Well, it was just careless, wasn't it? He just had to hover around him.
Don't think that's going.
I think he'll get off, but yeah, in the letter of the law, he just had to stay back.
Bump him, did he?
No.
Anyway, Mark Murphy slots this. That would really bring the Blues crowd to the fore. Whew.
Just across the face.
Ryan Houlihan has been left alone across half back. He's such a skilled player. He's going to chop you up like a razor blade if he gets the footy.
Polak over the top of Russell on the second effort. Foley's been the funnel for many attacks. Rains is caught high.
Well, he's had 9 possessions, Clinton. Foley's been everywhere.
And there have been a lot of whistles. 11 free kicks in the opening 14 minutes. 7 to Carlton, 4 to the Tigers. The ball comes to Polak, who's covering some ground.
They've still got plenty of pace off that half back line, Richmond. If they get let loose, they're going to be damaging.
Here's Pettifer.
Polak off again.
He'll get
Patterson on.
He'll get the trip here, Pettifer. It's just a question of accuracy.
Going to go short, and that's a good pass. There was loose checking by the Blues, and Schultz coming out of the goal square and have a shot at goal with his first kick.
Danny made a fair point, I reckon, early in the piece. Carlton have dominated this quarter. 3-4, they've had the 7 scores. And yet, if Pettifer can put this one through, Tigers right well and truly in it. So
Schultz.
That'll be Jay Schultz.
Interrupted by shoulder injuries last year, played just the 12 games. Tigers need a steadying goal. It's coming back. It's good. (3-4) plays 2-1 on Sunday Night Football here on Fox Sports AFL.
Well, that's great team football there from the Tigers, in particular Kane Pettifer. I think most players assume, and look, Polak's had a bit of an impact since he's gone into the ruck. So most players assume when Pettifer took this mark here, he was just going to go back and have a crack at it. And I think even Jared Waite did as well, and he allowed Schultz too much space. But that's great unselfish play there from Pettifer, much improved player.
Well, I assumed it. I didn't even know he'd passed it, Danny. I was down looking at my book. So it was a darn good. In fact, we've seen a world first today. Scotty Lucas handballed over the top for a goal. And in the Bombers, great victory. And it's all about the team if you want the result.
And he still kicks 7 for the afternoon. Cameron Cloak rucking for Carlton now against Patterson in the middle, and might have to do it again. They're hailing the cab, surely a bounce.
Had it initially, then it came out the back.
For our digital subscribers, you can press red to go active. Every Sunday evening, choose the angle you want. We'll stay on with the press conferences after the game as Tuck goes to Tambling, and now Foley with another possession. Back to Tuck, caught by Cloak. Little kick forward. Quick hands by Gibbs, setting up Thornton and Wiggins and Stevens. Stevens now towards Whitnell. Gasper, good spoil. Whitnell's got him.
It's good call by you, Danny, getting the Gasper matchup spot on.
Rains for his skipper. Tigers just a step ahead there. Here's Foley again. Now Joel Bowden, the run from defence. The delivery to midfield was poor, although Thornton, 2 grabs, not the third. Opens the door, Tambling coming through. Wrapped up, good pressure, Wiggins holding the ball.
Just at the other end of the ground, you can see the rationale behind the matchup of Joel Bowden on Favola. They want him on the end of every handball, they want him attacking, and they want Favola conscious of his man all the time.
Correct way.
Walker to Fisher.
Don't hold!
Now Favola's back against Moore. Won't get to this contest. Gasper in front. Did well, the former All-Australian. The handball, though, Well, there's Foley again prizing it clear.
Jeez, he was lucky Gasper that Foley was on the spot.
Patrick Bowden back for Johnson, going towards Richardson.
Starting to settle the Tigers.
Open forward line, although the Blues are getting
hard
back.
running from Hyde
Yeah,
here.
he's going to be on the end of it, isn't he, Danny? Good call. Scotland over the top. Did he get rid of Hyde? Play on the call. Wiggins. Good pressure by Thornton. Nice shepherd on tuck. And the Blues can clear with Fisher. Now Carazzo. The run provided by the former Magpie in Scotland. And the kick is perfect. Walker doesn't break stride. It's the play of the day. Is this the same Carlton we saw so often last year?
Well, it's the one we saw in the NAB Cup. And I think their form was indicative of where they're at. They are going to be a tough side to beat. They'll be competitive most of the year. And if you want to beat Carlton, you're going to have to beat a side that is looking at finals. And I think the Tigers also have been quite impressive as well, Danny. We know they've got a couple of their key players out. But the Blues are up and about. And they are just drinking the enthusiasm that's been around the club.
Well, Walker, on his debut, was sensational. 4 pre-seasons now. I think we're going to see the arrival of Walker. He's been a good player the last couple of seasons, but now we're going to see more attack.
And there was Cameron Cloak. He means business. This is his career. A second chance at the Blues, and he's been so impressive in the pre-season with his hands.
Look at that. Jared right on cue. Hit out for Stevens. He kicks Carlton to half forward. Kennedy is such a promising young player as well. Gathers, gives to Betts. Creative. Stevens caught by Johnson. Should be a bounce.
Well, Nick Stevens has had the 10 possessions, and Kane Johnson's going okay. He's only had the 5, but I think it's a leg speed issue at the moment. Nick Stevens, when the ball escapes the stoppage, is far too quick for Kane Johnson.
Who'd be the next option? We'll get your thoughts in just a sec.
Carazzo, again the third man up. Foley again getting the possessions. Tied up, should be a bounce. Waiting. Danny Froy on Fox Sports.
I'll be looking at Dean Polo. He's got a lot of great leg speed. Look, Kane's going okay, but just when the ball escapes, I'll be looking at Polo and let Johnson attack the ball.
Polo's been giving them plenty of run off half back. He's only had 4 or 5 possessions, but go the speed.
Patterson to Delidio, handball deflected to Gasper. Tigers back there. Johnson, Foley, look out. Did well, got it on. Howard running. Open territory forward, elects to go wide for tuck. Good second effort. McGuan. Quick hands. Patrick Bowden getting it on. Tigers having to be patient and go short because they had flooded back in vast numbers and Walker can't control with a boundary throwing.
Well, the Tigers have got 3 pretty good options up forward, but they're just not being able to link up between defence and that half-forward line to get it into them at the moment. And the midfield pressure and numbers of the Blues is the key issue at the moment for Terry Wallace to work out through quarter time.
Richmond. Okay, thanks.
Well, Richmond have had 73 possessions for only 6 inside 50s. Carlton, on the other hand, have had 56 possessions for 12.
Well, how's Nathan Foley? He's had 15 touches himself now in 21 minutes. And the man in front will be the paid the mark there.
Tuck.
And the Tigers can have a shot at goal through Shane Tuck.
That's where they got the advantage, the Tigers. If they get the ball in and they can get a 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2, they've got some marking targets down there that could deliver them the result. Now, this is just a straight vertical leap. He's an athlete.
He certainly is, and that's the strength and the beauty of Tuck. He plays in the midfield, but he's 6'3".
And Dennis Pagan will take Jared Waite by the scruff of the neck and talk about punching from behind.
He looked good.
And Tuck's kick is a goal. Tigers get their third. The margin is 9 points. Time on opening term. Another look at the setup and the benefits. Gentlemen are playing in front.
Well, he should never have taken that. Jared Waite just was entitled to punch that, Danny, and he'd be pumped up and he'd be full of enthusiasm. He's in great form, but Dennis Pagan in the press today, he spoke about the basics, and there's nothing more basic than that for an AFL defender.
He'll learn from that. He's had a lot talked about him through the pre-season. He's going to be a centre-half back, but you've just got to play the percentages all the time.
Ground level, Rowan Smith.
Johnson has just come off, and Tivendale's gone on to Stevens, so that'll be the matchup that Stevens has now. So he's getting plenty of the ball, so they've got to tighten up on him.
10 possessions, 4 of them handball receives. The good run of Nick Stevenson. He was waiting in the wings there. In fact, he smothers the attempted Tivendale kick. And we should get another bounce.
Well, Greg Tivendale's career was just about at the crossroads, Danny, when Terry took over. And I think he threw him the challenge last year of being a run-with player, and he did it with a lot of success. So this is now another time for a chance for him to reassert himself, although since he's been on, Stevens has had 3 touches.
Walker drives Carlton inside 50. Whitnell unable to trap it on the half volley. Bowden, Gasper, look out. Ball knocked away. Desperate acts required. Cracker tumbles it to Polak. Oh, look at this.
They're everywhere. The
2 Tigers. They've got to get something. Howard can go all the way. Show poise, young man. He does, and the finish is true. Back-to-back goals for the Tigers. We've got a shootout between the old rivals at the MCG.
Well, that was just the class of Andy Cracker. Just forced the ball forward, had the awareness, he had players around everywhere, and that was just magnificent to Polak. And then the run from the Tigers here, young Cam Howard, come off the rookie list, and he's got his opportunity. He's hungry, and that's a lot of poise there, Jude.
It was a good goal when he dummied a handball. He burnt one of his teammates, so he had to convert, and he did. And just having a look at Lance Whitnell, he needs the footy in his hand. He needs a couple of good grabs. He's like Greg Chappell was when he was getting all those ducks in a row. He was batting well, but he just couldn't find it. And Lance just needs somebody to handball him a ball so he can do something, just to get a bit of confidence in himself again.
Without a touch in the opening 25 minutes. 4 goals apiece. The bounce is terrible. Polak, Foley, Polo, Polak, Delidio. It worked. Drives the Tigers towards Richardson. O'Halpin on his hammer.
Oh, well done.
And the Irishman keeps his feet. And then look at that. Good nimble skills for Cloak. And now Bentic, and his kick is stolen away by Tivendale. It was intended for Simpson.
They could go in front of the Tigers.
Delidio for Tuck. 55 out. Go short. Good kick. And Pettifer can give them the lead.
Well, they have settled brilliantly. They're winning the ball off half-back pretty well now, and they're just starting to get that loose guys across the middle and get it into one-on-one contests in this forward line, Danny, and they've got the goal kickers. Their forward line looks okay.
Well, Delidio in the last 3 minutes, every time he's touched the ball, Richmond have scored. So you want to get the ball in the best player's hands, and Delidio's a ripper.
This for the lead. It's been 3 goals in 4 minutes. And this one has turned around in a heartbeat.
So, Danny, are we going to see this for the whole match, or is it all of a sudden going to be more negative? Are coaches going to clam up, or are they going to say, well, let's just take them on?
No, I don't think so, Jared. I think when you've got 2 young teams such as this, you want to keep the instructions nice and simple. Win the ball, get it, move it quickly, get it to your power forwards, and create some space for each other. And both sides have been able to do that at the moment. We've talked about Steve, but Nathan Foley, 16 possessions, what a quarter of football.
Do you start worrying about, what is it, Peter Featherby with 55? The all-time leader for a game. Bounce in the middle. Tivendale. Delidio tied up by Simpson in a good tackle. Bryce Gibbs, first kick in AFL football. It's a dream debut. Are you kidding me? The highly fancied #1 draft pick in the right place at the right time. He's in the leadership group and he says, hey, thanks guys for setting me up.
That looked like a young Jared Healy running through the lines. But have a look at that. Tackling forward pressure. Carazzo and Walker just handballed it to Gibbs. And I'll tell you what, that is great football. Dennis Pagan would be wrapped. That'll be on the highlights tape because they were all youngsters. Great team goal.
And I think Cameron Cloak had a bit to do with that tap as well. Nothing like me, Danny. 6 points in a row before I kicked the first goal.
And no histrionics. He acted like he'd been there before. Consider a career started for Bryce Gibbs. So the lead changes hands again in an entertaining opening term. Tivendale drives Richmond inside 50. Schultz in front, couldn't mark. Houlihan in trouble. Brought down. Schultz, ditto, a bounce.
The tackling from both sides, both coaches would be absolutely wrapped with the forward pressure at both ends. It's been elite at the moment.
Well, we've had some entertaining games. We've had perhaps one shocker, but we've had some entertaining games in the first round of footy. But this is right up there with the best.
Mine again.
Going to be a long opening quarter, less than 4 minutes remaining, and we've ticked over 28 minutes of playing time as Johnson's on for Howard. There's the Carlton forward line, as you see. Favola just loitering on the attacking 50 as the Tigers, with a window of opportunity presenting. Andrew Cracker, he can get it onto his boot quickly, although Wiggins pursuing him fast. The handball missed Richardson. Scotland working feverishly for the Blues, tambling for the Tigers. Richardson brought down. Some heat about this opening quarter. Free kick for a throw. And it's a Carlton free.
And that's what would be pleasing about this for the Tigers. Richo hasn't kicked a goal, hasn't had a lot of footy at all, and they're being pretty competitive.
Jared Waite.
Play on.
At the other end of the ground, they've got Darren Gasper controlling Lance Whitnell, so both key forwards struggling for their respective sides.
Oh, Kennedy, did he trap it? Not quite. McGuan was right there. Wonderful pickup by Graham Polak. Hurries a kick forward. It's going to be an awkward one for Thornton, and it's over for a boundary throw-in.
I've liked McGuan's game on Kennedy so far. Just a youngster playing his third or fourth game. He's been really defensive on Kennedy.
And he is very lucky he didn't pop a shoulder just there. His right shoulder he grabbed at the end. It must have gone awfully close.
Bentic. And the number 7 jumper for the Blues. Going to Whitnell now. Lance will get his first touch. And the kick, not the most impressive of one, but the bounce is favourable for Josh Kennedy, who's away and just missing to the near side.
You'd like to have him in your young stocks coming through, Danny.
Well, he's 6'5", Jared. Another 2 pre-seasons. He's only about 90 kilos, but wait till he gets up to about 98, 99 kilos. He's going to be a power forward.
As Dennis Pagan said in the press this morning, the nucleus is there. Gibbs 18, Murphy 19, Kennedy 19, Russell 20, Walker 20. Young Blues emerging. 2 minutes left, opening quarter. It's been a beauty. Gasper with a loose man more to his left. He marks at 55.
No, back to meter now.
Looking to give it off right at the edge. He goes short, Johnson.
Well done to Nick Stevens. He covered Patterson, the ruckman, who was going to get on the end of a 15-metre chip kick.
Tuck's kick was good for Polak, and he wins a free.
Well, that's the new rule there. It was a great kick. There's not much the defender could do there, but Polak just jumped early. That was the key. When he jumped early, you see in the replay here, he jumped early, and then Waite was a little bit clumsy in the sprawling attempt, it's fair to say. It was always a free.
Yep.
But the key there was when Polak jumped early, Waite was all at sea.
Polak has started well in a Tiger jumper. He was the Dockers' number 4 draft pick back in the 2001 draft. He gets under this kick and misses badly to the near side for a behind.
It's never been his great strength.
No.
He's still a young man, but he's got to get better at conversion.
Just 9 goals in his 73 games at the Dockers. Carlton by 3 points. They attack via the southern wing. Favola a long way down the ground, held by Joel Bowden.
He's going to take the free kick behind his mark. Fev, back behind your mark, please.
Umpire Chris Camelon's providing the soundtrack. Tigers getting back.
Move it on. Play on.
And Favola loads up the torp, doesn't hit it well. Newman.
Not sure why you'd go at Torp when you can kick a drop punt 65 metres.
That's a brain fade there from Favola.
Polo to Richardson on the northern wing. Final minute opening turn. Short ball dangerous. Walker knocks it down. Richo's committed here. And does well against 2 young Blues. Johnson, Walker, caught, high, free kick Carlton. Gibbs will go, he's a smart young player. He does, advantage play on. Favola with the set. See, the crowd went up with him. McGuan paddles it to Gasper. Fev says it's a throw. He should have been tackling there, shouldn't he?
You do not go to the umpire, you keep playing the footy.
Johnson on half-back. That is Brendan Favola to a T, isn't it?
You can't turn your back on the ball.
You're absolutely spot on, Jared. He would have been able to participate in that tackle and get a free kick.
Yeah, you've got to take the good with the bad. Newman.
Tell Dennis Pagan that, Clinton.
He'll come out and kick 5 in the second quarter. It's quarter time. How about that? What a turn. Great way to start Sunday night football here on Fox Sports AFL, and it's the Blues 5-5, the Tigers 5-2.
Well, if you're wondering whether you're going to get on board and support either of these clubs down here, you just say this is going to be one hell of an exciting year because we're playing exciting brand of footy. Who knows how it's going to finish, but on 30 minutes of exposure, these two clubs are worth paying the entrance fee. It's been brilliant, it's been scintillating, and there's been something in it for everyone.
Well, one game last night, there was 11 goals scored. We've already got 10 in a quarter. This is champagne football. Two good young teams just having a red-hot game.
That is great stuff from you. You've got champagne footy out in the opening quarter.
Great to have Danny Frawley with us. It's the Blues 5-5, the Tigers 5-2 here at quarter time. The highly fancied...
Are you kidding me?
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Down to the middle. Tippendale. Delidio tied up by Simpson in a good tackle. Bryce Gibbs, first kick in AFL football. It's a dream debut.
Okay, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You happy with that, Matt? The other one had a limp microphone thing. Okay, terrific. Thanks for that, chap.
Down to the middle. Tippendale. Delidio tied up by Simpson in a good tackle. Bryce Gibbs, first kick in AFL football. It's a dream debut.
Oh, indeed it was. By way of the alphabet, with 3 new Blues debuting today, he becomes Carlton's 1100th player in Navy Blue history, Bryce Gibbs. And a goal in the opening term, it's 5-5 to 5-2. Kane Pettiford, the only multiple goal kicker. Yes, Nathan Foley had 16 possessions in that opening term. Overall, the Tigers had 114 disposals to Carlton just 74. A lot more by way of the handball receives, 48 to 20. They also shaded the Blues by way of the contested possession. The marks 31 to 17. Carlton with 4 more inside 50s,
across the opening stanza. At ground level, covering proceedings for Fox Sports, Rowan Smith.
Thanks, Clinton. I think with Richmond, he just implored the guys to keep attacking. He wanted to run Favola up the ground. He said he specifically went up to Joel Bowden and said, I want you to keep running Favola up the ground, see how his knee's going. With Carlton, Dennis Pagan, he came down very late, just very relaxed, and he was holding the whiteboard, and I think all's rosy down at Carlton.
All right, Rowan, thanks for that. I thought a very realistic assessment of their season coming up by Stephen Kernahan when he joined us in our pre-game show, Jared, when he said, look, 4 to 8 wins would be acceptable, would be the expectation. We get more than that, fantastic, it's a bonus.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of, I guess, keeping expectations down, because they're certainly right up there at the moment. But look, if Carlton can get off to a good start and, as I said, keep injuries at bay, then anything can happen as these young kids to develop. But right now, it's the kids aren't the problem. They've got to find some footy for Big Red. He just hasn't been able to get it, Danny. We've all been in slumps as players, and the only way you can get out of it is to keep working hard and find the ball.
Spot on, Jared. And it's interesting, Carlton in front, yeah, they've had 40 less possessions. To be a little bit critical of Richmond, they've had the 114 possessions, 54 kicks, 60 handballs, so they just probably need to kick the ball a little bit more.
Clinton, you talked about the package that is Brendan Favola. Well, we saw it at the start of the game where he kicked a magnificent goal from 50-odd metres out. And then we saw a big Fev remonstrate with the umpire late in the term when he should have actually been contesting the ball. There it is there. And Darren Gasper says, oh, how good's this?
It was like the Gold Coast, wasn't it?
It was.
He then came out and kicked a bag against the Roos.
Are you being prophetic there?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? This is a fantastic atmosphere. School holiday starting tomorrow in Melbourne, and it has helped draw a big crowd. Look at that turnout. It's upwards, I reckon, of 60,000 here now. A great response from the Tiger and Carlton fans as Richardson and O'Halpin get set to go to battle again.
And right now, O'Halpin's done his job, Danny.
He's been very good. I've liked his athleticism. I knew he had the speed, but he's got the motor as well. Richo has ran far and wide for his possessions, and O'Halpin's been right on him. So he's obviously not only quick, but he's got a big motor.
Great to see Chris Newman back. You would have great delight in seeing that, Danny. He's a star, Chris Newman, still a very underrated player, coming back from a severe leg injury.
Well, they use him as the quarterback. He's had the 8 possessions, 6 of them kicks, and normally they're lace out.
Blues by 3 points to the punt road end, the left of screen in quarter number 2. Cloak against Patterson. Good and jump. It's the Tiger, Ruckman Patterson, who takes it, drives it immediately forward. Delidio got an awkward bounce, mopped up by Thornton of the Blues, now Houlihan.
Well, Danny, Terry Wallace would be filthy on that, because they started with no centre-half forward, a real hole there, and Delidio ran into it, fumbled it, should have been a shot at goal.
Got to take your chances.
Cade Simpson, quiet opening term after a brilliant 2006, and the centering ball knocked away by Newman. That was a terrific spoil, and they're happy to concede a behind.
Well, it was great running from Cameron Cloak. Got into the hot spot. It just looked like a great kick from Simpson, but Newman, again, that's the value of him. Not only is he great disposal, but he's terrifically courageous in the air.
Broken leg in round 13 ended his 2006 season. Chris Newman making his return here this evening, and the footy in hand for the 24-year-old Tiger, and turning it over as Bryce Gibbs read it brilliantly.
Give him a wrap, and look what they do, Jared. Just said he's the best kick in the Richmond defence. And
mark there, Bryce?
he'd like to have that one again, it's fair to say.
That was entertaining stuff, but I was watching Danny when he said that. It was as if he was in the coaching box again.
He doesn't need that, does he?
He had that grimace.
So Bryce Gibbs lining up for his second goal now. On debut, the number 1 draft pick, much heralded number 1 draft pick from last year. And the kick is missing to the near side. 5-7 plays 5-2.
Terry Wallace keen to go at the matchup on Tivendale and Nick Stevens and release Kane Johnson.
Tigers huddling nullified to a degree because Carlton was zoning. So that's why Joel Bowden, bereft of free men, has to kick to essentially a contest. They've got 3-on-2 though. The Tigers, good mark in front again, Adam Patterson.
He flirted with it there, Joel Bowden. I think he's lucky that the field umpire was actually watching the ball and not watching his leg. It looked as if it was over or on again.
Play on!
Patterson from half back, floats it to the wing. Carlton with numbers. Kennedy in front, couldn't get it. Polo in trouble, will get a bounce. Eventually. Maybe. Umpire letting them play.
Steady up! up, steady
Thank
up,
you.
steady up, steady up, steady up. Bubble.
It's good to see the umpire letting it go a
Give me
little
the
bit. He
footy, boys.
normally would have just
Get off
called
him,
that a
get
bit
off
quicker,
him.
but
Get off him.
a little bit of a scuffle
Give me
here
the
as we
footy,
see.
give me the footy, boys.
Walker
And
Walker.
Polo always be the one to give the ball to the umpire. Oh, and now the Tigers get a through.
Run on with it.
Hyde will take it. Elects to go short.
Ready,
Andrew
stay there,
Rains.
Move it on.
Got his dad Jeff's number 4 on his back. Kicking it out very wide. Too wide for Pettifer.
Yeah, would Terry Wallace be saying
Last dig at him.
to Pettifer,
Call for the ball
you
up.
could have marked that, or would he be happy that he made sure it went over the boundary
Steady
line?
up.
The first one, Jared, I think you've got to have a red-hot go at it, and that's Pettifer's go. Just attack the ball.
Simpson in the Betts direction. Boundary line would be a good result for the Blues because the Tigers have 2-on-1 here. Although Eddie Betts is tenacious. And he wins a free. That is brilliant pressure by Eddie Betts.
He's got Lance running into space, and he's going to find him.
At the last moment, it was knocked away by Gasper. Now Newman, hemmed in by the Blues, affects the switch magnificently to Tambling. That's what Danny was talking about with his foot skills.
That's better.
Now Hyde on the outer wing.
Got Richo on.
He should be able to burn off Cloak. He does, and he can close 60, 55, driving it to the hot spot. One-on-one battle. Schultz there. Waite knocks it down. Cracker going, lurking in the wings. He might get it, Cracker. Polo gives it to him. Tightest of angles.
Check.
He centres it. That is unselfish, and it was exquisite.
That's just brilliant footy. He knew the chances of him kicking the goal were about 100 to 1. And he was smart enough to feign a shot at goal and then swing around, and he found his target. That is just a class act from the young kid.
And Greg Tivendale will put the Tigers back in front. Although after Shannon Grant's kick yesterday, we'll wait for confirmation. Indeed, it's a goal, and the Tigers have the lead once more.
Well, Andy Cracker's an MCG specialist, and he is. He loves playing at this ground. At Telstra, the ball escapes, but have a look at this. In traffic, on this ground, the ball doesn't bounce as high. He plays low, and in traffic, I don't think he's a better player. You know, he needs to work on his endurance and get a couple of easy possessions, but in close, there's no better player than Andy Cracker, and it'd be great to see him just get some easy possessions for a change.
What would you be saying to Richo right now? He's working hard. You can see he's frustrated when he isn't being made the target because at the moment he can't get away from his man.
I think his work rate's been first class. Just keep at it. It'll happen.
4 lead changes this evening. Tigers by a point. Stevens getting in the back of Tivendale.
The Cameron Cloak ruck tap is superb at the present time, but it's a little bit predictable. He just goes to the back behind his head almost every time, and Nick Stevens is getting a field goal.
Now Polo's got space.
Here it is.
There it is, Jed.
Finally, says Richo.
Now, will he have a shot from about 54?
This is his pet distance, Clinton. He loves this pocket here, right foot in. You'll see the big arc come, and he'll just go whack.
Another look.
And
Good
work
lead.
from Matt Satanta. Fell for the dummy.
Yep.
He got pushed away.
Hang on. Off ball, there's contact. It's against Waite on Pettifer. The greater penalty will be 50 metres, so Richardson will kick from the goal
And
line.
I'll guarantee you, the umpire
Look
will
at
make
Richo
sure
sprinting.
it's right on the goal line.
Yes, there'll be no shades of yesterday. So Richo gets a gimme, and the Tigers get the opening 2 of quarter number 2. Richardson with his first for the season, and the Tigers are out by 7 points.
Reward for effort. He has led all day, Richo, so far. We've got a quarter and a half, and it'll pay dividends because he'll just keep coming at the ball, the big fella. And if he gets in the right spot, it's a play with the ball's priority to give it to someone in a better spot. But he'll just keep trying, and there's no doubt Richo watched the game yesterday because he sprinted to the goal square to say to the umpy, I want to kick right on the line.
7-2, playing 5-7.
Interesting, we just saw the matchup with Brett Thornton on Kane Pettifer. This time last year, he would have been playing on someone 3 inches taller than him or 5 centimetres taller. Now he's playing on someone who's significantly shorter than him.
And he's still in the navy blue. Dennis Pagan writing him a letter.
What's the cloak
Essentially
again?
pleading with him to stay and not go to Hawthorn in the trading period. He stayed, and as Jared said, has some help in the back half as Tivendale squirts it out wide and then follows it up well for Pettifer. Under pressure, turnover, punching the handball out as Walker to Betts, to Stevens, loves them on the run. Too far out here, handball over the top, Gibbs caught, play on. Pettifer in the back half, Joel Bowden concedes.
Well, Nick Stevens, if he had his time again, he'd probably go the left foot chip kick to Favola. The handball just wasn't long enough, and his man, I think it was young Gibbs, had to wait and he was run over. Cloak off, and a fit and exuberant Ackland onto the ground. Don't you love it when your players come off, Danny? They're pumped and they get straight on and they show some energy coming off the ground.
Likewise, you want them sprinting off too, Jared. Which both sides have been doing today.
Howard, very, very unsure of which way to go. Squares it. The Tigers, patient. Polo with Murphy on his hammer. And Betts.
And he's one player that is really struggling under his own expectations. Just the one touch at the moment, Mark Murphy's been well tagged.
Tambling, slicing his way through the Blues midfield and then was brought down. Carazzo did not. Defender kicks the Blues to half forward for a boundary throw-in. Scratch of the head for the former Docker Graham Polak. He's all right. Lights beginning to take effect at the MCG. There's Polak for Bentic. Throw, no, it's coming back in the back. Bentic.
Favola's got some space here.
Yep, and there he goes. Bentic delivers to him as we check the replay again, and Fev's got it.
Well, that's just great play from Carlton, because when you've got your power forward one-on-one with space to lead into, just kick the ball to space. The forward will always get on the end of it, and that was a magnificent kick. If you had waited another second, there would have been 3 Richmond defenders. We'll just have a look at the kick here. You see those 3 Richmond defenders trying to hover in. They couldn't get there in time, so it's great play there, Blues.
The All-Australian full forward
It's got to go sideways.
and runner-up in Carlton's best and fairest last year, looking for his second. You're right behind the kick, so you know what happened. Ugly.
Next to the post, Joel. That'll do there.
Gavin Krasiska to the right of Dennis Pagan. Former Magpie watching on as the Tigers are patiently bringing it out with Polak.
Play on.
Short ball. Finds Delidio.
Play on.
Wide ball, good for Howard. Fisher onto the ground. We haven't seen too much of Fisher. Big Red comes off. And all of a sudden it's a different mix for the Richmond coaching staff. They're going to have to change players for sure.
He's only had the one touch, Whitnell, so Gasper's done a terrific job defensively.
Good switch here from the Tigers. Frees up more on the wing. Now he's got Rains and Tuck presenting short. Goes to the latter. Tuck can now, well, he should go long quickly. He's under some pressure. The hand pass was good to Johnson. He sends it wide for Tambling, and it's going to skew out of bounds for a throw-in. Tigers at the MCG last year won 5 of their 9 matches. The Blues winning just 1 of 7 games here, as you see Patterson warming up on the boundary line. Here's Tivendale. Patrick Bowden for Howard, getting a bit of it now, and the kick is wide. Nearly halfway through the second term, scores a level.
We just sense halfway during the second quarter, the young legs are starting to get a little bit tired. There's a few mistakes creeping in, so the side that can capitalise on the mistakes will go in front at half-time.
Stevens is Carlton's chief ball winner with 15 touches. Finds Fisher, as Jared said a moment ago, just on the ground.
Well, he can be a game breaker, this kid. He's so talented. And he's very mobile, but he can still take a big grab. Polak coming off the ground for a rest. And Patterson will go back into the ruck.
That was a great play from Walker.
Yeah, good shepherding, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
And now for Favola on the lead. He's had a sighter from this distance a moment ago. Will he go back and have a shot? Surely all good full forwards do.
Well, he will. And I suppose the positive for Bowden, Favola's had to lead wide to get his ball. He hasn't led up the middle of the ground. So as a defender, if they're going to mark it here, because the percentage rate is about 35%.
Jared likes those odds, Danny. He actually says, I'll take that. And the same result. Identical. Both out of bounds on the 4th. And Fev gets the hangdog look about it.
Well, he's just going to have to work through this. He's had an injury, so he probably hasn't had his normal preparation through the week. Some players deal with that better than others, but right now Fev hasn't got the sights.
He's got it again.
Oh, he's going to have a third crack.
Well, Joel Bowden, he can do that at times, Jared.
Oh. Goodness gracious me. Well, what happens with this one?
I think you put him down for this one.
Okay.
He's in another 10 metres from the boundary line, and if he's going to miss from the other side. That's what he's got to allow for. All good forwards make up for their mistakes. If you're going to miss it on the left side of the goalpost.
You see that bandage under the left knee. He's been getting intense occasional pain in that knee, which he first heard in the NAB Cup Grand Final. Two-siders, 2 out on the full. What about this time, Fev? It's a behind. And you've got to watch these Tiger kick-ins now.
It's a let off there for the Tigers.
And you see again, Carlton zoning, the Tigers huddling from centre-half back. Now they flood the great southern stand side, so the kick-in is in that direction, and with about a metre to spare, Johnson marks. Tuck with a breather. Howard with the footy.
That's, I think, now the most difficult kick in football. The kick out from full-back. More difficult than any shot from goal in a reasonable angle. There's so much pressure to hit the target, which is incredible.
Tigers with a landslide handball advantage in this match. Patrick Bowden. He was 8th in the best and fairest last year and waxed with his brother a number of times. Methodical build-up this by Richmond. It's looking all right. Now the important ball, the entry inside 50. It's from Patrick Bowden to Cracker, and he marks at 45.
It's just a bit too quick there, Andrew Cracker. Matthew Lappin, if the ball's in flight and he's got some time to read it, he'll be okay. But if it's just an athletic event, he's going to miss out.
Andrew Cracker also made headlines over the summer. One of those footballers happy to have the season starting, and unselfishly he gives it off for Chris Hyde. Very well done.
Well, Jared Wade again. And it's just concentration. That's all it is. He's just assuming. One thing playing in defence, you cannot assume that Cracker's going to kick the goal. We saw it down the first quarter with Schultz. We see it here again with Chris Hyde. Wade is just assuming, hands on the hips. He's just got to play in front and play as if Cracker's going to hit Chrissy Hyde.
Didn't miss a game last year. Chris Hyde had that awful fractured skull the year before. He's kicking truly here, and the Tigers are back in front. Hyde gets his first. So they've had 7 goal kickers now, Richmond. Pettifer with 2, the only multiple, and they're out by 5 points.
Well, that hurts. Favola's had 3 shots on goal in the last 3 minutes. Right? They should be 2 goals up. Goes down the other end, bang, goal. And Jared Wade, he's going to learn from this first half. He's been okay when the ball's in the air, but on the short passing, he's just got to get hip on hip, body on body. Too easy, that shot on goal there to Hyde.
Well, Mark Murphy has had a fair bit of time on the bench. He was struggling to get the footy, and he's gone forward. And it looks like Moore is going to pick him up. They're swinging players around here, Carlton. Richmond trying to get the right matchup, but well, he's only had 1 possession, so there's a lot of upside for the Blues in him getting the footy.
Stevens with a big hit on Cracker.
That's a throw.
Moore sold the dummy neatly to get Betts in the air, and then the vision perfect. Patterson will give it off. Tambling with options. Elects to go by hand pass. Foley at 45. Hits the top of the square. In front, Schultz. Tivendale rolls and goes.
Good goal.
Tigers up and about. Yellow and black army behind the goals erupt. And they're out by 11 points.
Well, that's what you call team football, Jared. They break the space. Tamlin got the ball. He could have blazed away, but he put the ball to a dangerous spot. And that's one thing defenders hate. You see Tamlin here. He gets it out to Nathan Foley. Could have had a crack at the goal foot. No, I'll put the ball in the air and get a contest. And that's great roving there from Greg Tivendale.
Jeez, we've seen a few crumb goals. Kevin Bartlett will be just ecstatic with some of these
and he's back at
goals.
Punt Road now.
He is back. And, well, Nick Stevens getting pretty frustrated with the Tivendale attention.
Rowan Smith, down to you.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jared. I've been watching the last 5 minutes. Greg Chippendale's really got on top of Nick Stevens here, and he's just getting a little bit frustrated.
Patterson knocking it down. Bentic sharking it for the Blues, kicking long in the Fisher direction. Over his head, he's waiting the forward line now. Eddie Betts providing an option. Rains, great tackle. It was rugby league-like. Hit him and it stuck. McGuan caught high, wins a free. Another look at it.
Well, it's a great tackle there from Rains. Great forward pressure, and they've got the ball through sheer tackling.
Been impressed with the Tigers' pace, Danny.
Yep. I think when the game's escaped and it's broken out the space, the Tigers definitely look better, Jared. And when the game's in tight and played on Carlton's terms, they look better.
Bryce Gibbs has got a new role. He's running one-on-one with Chris Hyde up in defence.
Tambling. His third AFL season. Kicking towards half forward. Carlton with numbers, there's a push. The former Saint, Ackland, will be the recipient.
Has a new rule been, Danny? Hands in the back. You're a fullback of old, but we saw it against the rucks there. Has it been the problem that some suggested it would be?
No, I like the rule, Jared. It tells players to go for the ball and use your body, use your hips, use your legs.
Walker's hurried kick inside 50, marked by Moore of Carlton.
Jeez, he's really impressive, this kid.
Your visual example of it, Danny, with Jason Dunstall on Before the Bounce on Fox Sports on Friday night was graphic.
Left a lot to be desired, Jared.
Did it?
Just showed how old we were, Jared.
I was going to say the phrase well past their prime springs to mind as Howard delivers towards half forward and Cracker marks at 55. He's got the lead short. Polak. And now we'll get a sense about his goal kicking, Jared, because it's a very gettable shot and it could be 3 in a row for Richmond.
Well, they've got the momentum, but he's got to convert. It's not his strength, as we know. I think you said 9 goals. Now, that's the issue for Carlton right now. They've got to get Lappin off Andrew Cracker. He's just too slippery.
The Blues led by 14 points early. If Polak kicks this, the Tigers are out by 17, and he misses. A let-off for the Blues.
And it's amazing. I mean, you look at Graham Polak, if he had 2 goals to his name, which he could have done, you'd say, wow, what a debut for the Tigers. But right now, it's been reasonable, not great.
Walker feeds Simpson. Awkward one for Wiggins. Needed that on the chest. Oh, look at the courage being shown there. It's a high one.
He almost knocked himself out.
Simpson will take it.
Look, it was great play because Kane Johnson just... He was unconditional at the contest. You see Johnson and Simpson just go hard at the ball. Oh, hell.
Let him run.
The thing about Johnson there, he went low, which was good. He went lower than Simpson. If he went down higher, could have been in trouble.
Yeah, I thought he was stiff. He went straight at the footy. I think it was incidental.
Rains. Whoops. Hot ball right now. Eddie. Eddie.
What did he have in mind there?
I'm still thinking.
You want to try and beat Russell Robertson's goal on Friday night, I think, Jared.
The bar has been set high. Cloak, the hit out. Bentic spinning brilliantly, kicking at goal and missing. Carlton in this second quarter with 1 goal 5 now.
It's amazing. The 2 guys with tagging jobs, Bentic on Nathan Foley's playing well, and Tivendale on Stevens. The 2 taggers are dominating.
This is hurting the Tigers. Their kick out from points has been as bad as I've seen it. I mean, it's nervous and early times. They'll have to get better than that.
Gasper with the intercept, the pass intended for Wiggins.
I definitely like Gasper up the ground now, later on in his career. Richardson back on, Pettifer off for the Tigers.
Coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half as Matthew Richardson trots back into the fray. We'll have to be precise, and the kick was. This is Hyde. He'll stab it to the centre corridor for Moore.
Geez, the next goal's important,
isn't it?
Carlton get it, then half-time. It's very even.
That's holding the ball. That's great work by Cloak. His first game in a Carlton jumper in official play, and the former Magpie does well. He thought about going to Houlihan at half forward. He might drive it long. He's going to give Fev a chance for a specky. And he's got it. It's play on the call. And he's hit the post. Oh, Fev is filthy now. Fev is angry. He wanted the mark paid. So did the fans. The Tigers, meanwhile, spirit the ball out of defence quickly. We'll wait to get another look because Tivendale moving it towards the southern wing, and there's a free for a hand in the back.
Yeah, that's the new rule there.
Pace of Richmond is just the big concern for Carlton at the moment. Carlton are much quicker than they were, but man for man, they just look a bit under.
Tigers building. Final 2 minutes of the opening half.
Got Richo one-on-one.
Tivendale goes to him. Richo's being held.
Inexperienced for Satana. He had his eyes off the footy. And that's just bringing the ball in quick. So Richo's one-on-one, and it exposes the inexperience of the Irishman.
And it's a great kick from Tivendale.
He's had a great second quarter.
He just put it to the spot. He didn't even worry about who was there. He just put it to the dangerous spot. He was just hoping Richo was there, and he was.
But you ran into him front on. Come on, Richo.
Everybody's coaching Satana, including the umpires.
Richardson for his second. Tigers have kicked 3 in a row. And the lead is 16 points with a tick over a minute remaining.
Well, Terry Wallace is coaching extremely well at the moment. He's got the matchup right. Tivendale on Stevens. He took Richo off for a couple of minutes, brings him straight back on the ground, and voila, gets a goal and drew the kick.
And at the other end of the ground, we saw this happen, and it looked as if it had touched hands. But I tell you what, he's very stiff there, Fev, based on what we saw.
You'd get them paid 8 out of 10.
That's a mark.
He's got to put it behind him. He's kicked 1 goal, 2 and 2 out of bounds. The Coleman medalist. Well, the Tigers by 16 points. You see 1:11 remaining from half time. And perhaps sensing that, the Tigers have sent Patrick Bowden to be a loose man in defence. They'll be happy with the score as it stands right now. Can they conjure up another goal? Crack of the clearance to centre half forward. Time clock ticking to a minute. Richmond building again. Nice little dummy by Hyde. Gives it off to Foley. Centering ball from the outside of the boot for Howard. Batters it on to Cracker. Carazzo the pressure. Howard from 50. Launches it to the square. Richardson again. And it hits the goal umpire in the post for a behind.
Pace of Richmond up forward in particular, Danny, is a huge concern.
Well, Jared, you've been on the Cracker case, and I agree. They've made the change now, but they've put Heath Scotland on him. I don't think Heath's any quicker than Matty Lappin, is he?
Final half minute. Polak laying it off by hand. Tigers lead is 17 points. Remember, they were down by 14 in the first quarter. Hyde's kick is brilliantly smothered by Gibbs, who puts the pressure on Newman. Might have saved something. Simpson to Betts to Gibbs. Kicks quickly to the northern wing. Time running out. Walker's got space.
Need a mark.
5 seconds. Kicks it towards half forward. It's too far out for Murphy, and the siren will beat them.
Stiff.
And Favola upends. Cracker. Look out, look out, look out. Look out, look out.
Oh, it's on.
Favola upended Cracker after the siren. Patrick Bowden responded, and the old rivals are going at it like it's the 1970s all over again. Brendan Favola has had a tough first half, and he engages a melee here. Will cool heads prevail? Last time we saw Fev in pitches like this, it was from Ireland.
Well, that reminds us, Jared.
A free kick against Favola, but Cracker's 100 metres from goal. Now, unless they give a 50 and then another one, the scoreline will stand. Buckle up, folks. We're set for a dramatic second half.
Well, it was an overreaction from the Tigers because Favola was just a pure accident from my understanding.
Oh, no, it wasn't, Jared.
Where's that?
He's deliberately run into him. And Patrick Bowden was right there.
Yeah,
he wasn't happy.
He did hit him a little bit, but I'm with Jared a little bit
Wasn't a lot
on this
in
one.
it,
It wasn't
but
a lot
he
in it, but
he did hit him.
But I think that could have started something. Yeah, look, there wasn't a lot in it.
Oh, wow.
Tell you what, it got you wound up, I know that. You were desperate for that.
I'm looking forward to the next quarter, boys.
Oh, boy. It's a big occasion. There's about 60,000 in. Look at the crowd in the Great Southern Stand as the Tigers make their way off.
Well, they'd be thrilled, Richmond. They came in as underdogs in many respects, but their pace is, as we've said a number of times, has been significant. If Carlton to win, Favola has to kick goals.
Tigers by 17 points at half-time on Sunday Night Football.
You've got to talk me through this, JJ. Graham Polak, yep. Richmond good. It is off, and it was about then that you just got the feeling that the Tigers were in this to play. They haven't just come here to see the Blues bandwagon continue to fill up.
Look, you're spot on. It's the Richmond youngsters. Cameron Howard there, come off the rookie list. Look, he's been terrific. Polak's had 12 possessions. Able to polish and kick that ball was just beyond his years, wasn't it, really? You'd take that from an experienced player. And the youngster, just a steady bang, straight over top of the goal umpires. That was sensational.
What about Mark Murphy? Brilliant last year, unfortunately got injured. His form in the pre-season has been superb, and yet the hard tag has seen him almost have no impact on the game today.
That's a headache for Dennis Pagan. Stephen's not finding with Tippendale. You've got Mark Murphy, you've got young Bryce Gibbs. They need Scotland and Houlihan off the half-back flank to generate some play. A young Walker's sort of been in and out a little bit. They just need to find more of the ball. At the moment, the Tigers are winning it and running it and carrying it. At the moment, Carlton just need to reassess and say we need to win the stoppages. They've been fairly good on the ruck, but at the moment Richmond have been reactive and they're reading the taps of Ackland and Cloak, haven't they? So they really need to go to work there and really get in hard at the ball.
Have you seen the performance of Graham Polak, who was one player that Terry's recruited to fill that vacuum he talks about of a lack of players between 24 and 28?
Look, a different role. He started up forward and he's been able to get the ball. Look, he should have 2 goals on the board. If he had nailed those 2 goals, he would have had a great half of footy. Unfortunately, he missed those, but at least he's getting the ball in his hands.
And Patterson, the youngster, he's done particularly well in the ruck as well. An unheralded player that's making a name for himself.
No Simmons, no Noble. Terry had to try something, and that's probably the mobility factor. They look a lot more mobile around the ground. Ackland and Cloak are winning it, but they're just running all over the ground.
One bloke that's not here as well for the Blues is Anthony Koutafidis, and he's our special guest with Clinton Grybas on the back of this break here at the MCG. Richmond are flying.
Sunday Night Football making its debut appearance in the AFL in 2007. We've got the Bulldogs in Adelaide for you next week, but a terrific match unfolding here. Richmond by 17 points, 10-4 to 6-11. Second half coming up, and you can keep up to date with all of the AFL news on Fox Sports. The highlights every Monday night with the winners, followed by On the Couch. Jared, Mike and Robert with you live, 8:30 Eastern Monday nights. The team's on Thursday night, and Jason Dunster with For the Bounce every Friday evening. At ground level, Rowan Smith joins us.
Thanks, Clinton. Carlton very late on coming out in the ground. They've just gone out. They're just doing their warm-up, so they're a little bit late. Carlton really have to get their hands on the ball in this second half. You've seen Richmond in that second quarter, the way that they ran through the lines, got the ball in the midfield to get it through to their forward line quickly. That's what Carlton have to do to get back into this game.
You're spot on, Rowan, and just having a look down here at some of the players that Rowan's referring to. Matthew Lappin, he's had 4 touches. Heath Scotland, 5 touches. Mark Murphy has had only 2 touches, and Kane Simpson, a bloke who was right up there last year, he's not getting enough either with 7. Their prime movers aren't getting enough footy, with the 1 or 2 exceptions, Nick Stevens at the top.
Well, that's a difficult one to coach, because you can get matchups, but you've actually got to get your hands on the ball. It's not as if they're making mistakes. They can't make any because they're not getting it. So Dennis would be just going back to the basics. Boys, we need first hands. We're winning the ruck contests, but we just, the first 20 minutes of this game, we were alight. We had all the momentum. We didn't score, but all of a sudden we couldn't get any hands. So we're interested to see whether Dennis can get a Nick Stevens. He's their generator. Tivendale's done a fantastic job. Does he get Stevens to go to someone else and create a 2-on-1?
On the wing, they've got Mark Murphy. Now, Matthew Lappin started on the wing, and that's probably his best position because he can sweep, but trying to break the tag and get him into one-on-ones, Mark Murphy on the great southern side stand wing, and there you see him in a bit of a scuffle.
Off we go in the third quarter. Blues to the right of screen, Tigers and Delidio to the left. And the clearance was good, and Pettifer marks it right on the 50.
A metre inside 50.
Probably can kick it.
To the famed Hunt Road end. He launches a goal. 19 seconds it took. You want the perfect start to the quarter? We deliver you Kane Pettifer.
Well, not only Kane Pettifer, but Brett Delidio out of the the centre bounce. Have a look at this. Just sharked it beautifully. Just leg speed. You can't beat it in today's football. And like all good forwards, Jared, you've got to be in front.
Yeah, he was leading up. You've got to be in front because the kick coming out of the middle, most clearances, is going to be a mongrel. Generally, they drop short. If it goes behind you, well, you've got an option to turn around and run onto a crumb, but they've just got to get the next couple here, the Blues, if they're going to stay in touch of this match.
It has been 6-1 since quarter time. Tigers out to the biggest lead of the game.
They've got to get better than that, the Tigers. Cameron Cloak to Stevens out the back is their standard fare. Good grab though.
Brad Fisher. And he could just about kick this.
This is where they're falling now. They need Lance Whitnell. The skipper's had one position in the goal square. They need him to fire.
Come back. That's it. Stay there, Joel. Stay there, Joel.
And Fisher is going to give it off. Curious option. Whitnell in a pack against Gasper. Tuck with the tackle. A bounce.
Has he got a chance now?
Big Red has to find the footy. Third quarter, as good a time as any.
First game has capped it as Cloak palms it down. Whitnell can run onto it now. Hook the kick around his body. And his second kick for the match is a behind.
Once again, the Cameron Cloak tap. He floats in and he flicks it out the back. And he's getting great success. But as people watch the coverage and he gets more time in the middle, he's going to have a few more tricks. But he's working with Gary Dempsey, so clearly he's got one of the great ruckmen of all time helping him out.
Bit of byplay. Joel Bowden wants 50 for a knock on the head by Favola. Fev just pats him on the head and says, "You're all right, Joel."
Kick it now, Joel.
Bowden goes short.
Thanks, Cone.
Andrew Rains on half back.
Kick it now.
To centre half back. Patient Tigers with Newman. They can play it on their terms now.
Stay there, stay there.
Adam Patterson.
This is where they look dangerous, the Tides.
And they come unstuck.
Free kick to Fev.
Hold him by the jumper. The bowler's kick.
Good chase.
Leading ball winners dominated by the Tigers. Have had 82 more possessions in the game as Favola goes to Stevens. He could find an opening here. 45 metres out. Nick Stevens, good goal kicker. Touched on the line. Wonderful work by McGuan getting right back there.
Well, it's better. Play on quickly, get the ball in there. He was a little bit stiff. Great defence from Calvin Moore. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, is that over? line ball.
Bees whisker.
Simo, that'll do.
Among other appendages, Danny.
Don't creep, Kate.
The margin is 21 points. Patterson again.
It's as if Richmond have gone out with a game plan to say, look, we're going to control the play
Play on.
and just keep possession of the ball. We didn't see this in the first half, did we?
Not at all. And I think they'll be going for space because they know that they've got an advantage in the one-on-ones.
Tuck away. Delivers towards
Good grab.
half forward for Tambling, but it's intercepted by Thornton. Told to go. He switches. Here's Gibbs.
Got Favola on.
Come up, Mater. Yours.
He elects to go a little longer to the young man that he played a lot of footy with as a kid in Jordan Russell, but it's over his head and Delidio's got it. Now McGuan going for Howard.
It's a real test coming up here for Carlton, Danny, just to see how far they've come in the self-belief stakes. They're now under pressure. They were 4 or 5 goals down against the Kangaroos at the Gabba, and they came back brilliantly. But they're playing a better quality opposition this time round.
Well, what they have to do here is just play tight. The Tigers are lowering their eyes, just spotting up targets. This is far too easy. What they've got to do is actually play in front of the Richmond opponent.
Schultz goes deep. Carlton in the right place. Houlihan waiting down, going without it, winning a free as Pettifer. Nick Stevens venting his fury.
Hand into him. Look.
The reaction is priceless. The goal will be painful. Pettifer will kick his fourth. And Chris Camelons was right there. And Nick Stevens is as angry as a human being can be right now. And Pettifer just adds a little bit of salt to the wound. They're out by 27 points.
Well, danger side, you'd called it, Jared. Great front and square again, great spot to be. Oh, look, in the letter of the law, it may have been there, but
not even in the letter, Danny. That's a
you're
side
right.
bump.
No,
That's a
what am I
shocking
talking
decision.
about, Jared? I'll slap myself here. That is silly,
shocking
Danny.
decision.
I love contest footy, and that is not contest football.
I mean, Brett Thornton should have taken the grab. It was a good effort by his opponent to come back and bring it to ground. But Kane Pettifer, he's one Tatslotto there, and good luck to him.
Yeah.
Well, looking at the scoring shots, Carlton 6-13 now to the Tigers 12-4. Perfect bounce. Cloak in the Stevens direction. Didn't want to give away another free. Handball though, straight to Hyde. He gets it on to Patterson. Tigers full of run, 27 points in front. Looking for more. Tuck on the 50. Dangerous handball for Polo. Knocked away by Scotland. Good second effort. Then turns it over. Opens the door for Johnson. Hyde's handball intercepted.
Good hands.
Now, got to run the boys. Carazzo to Houlihan. Here he goes. Southern stand wing is his. Could go all the way potentially. 4 bounces. Still going. 60 metres out. Centering ball for Gibbs.
Oh, good courage, young fella.
55 out.
Got him.
And good vision. And Houlihan kept on running. He's thinking about playing on. He will go back and have a shot.
It was a really difficult decision for young Bryce Gibbs to make there because he could see Favola with his peripheral vision. He knew the kick was to Favola, but in the end it was his mark. He had to go. And that's a good sign because in the end he said, in general terms, bugger you, Fev, it's mine. I'm only a first game player, but he did make it count.
We can't hear what's going at the game. If he didn't hear anything, he had to go at the ball.
After 5 straight Tiger goals, the Blues need this from Ryan Houlihan. They don't get it. Now, that's off hands into the post, a boundary throw-in.
It's quite amazing. Not one Carlton player was on the goal line. 3 Richmond players. Just a lack of concentration.
Ackland leaping high. Bowden, Joel getting it to Polak. Rains. Here's that run.
Need a big spark here, the Blues, because if they don't find it soon, they're going to get blown away by the Tigers. They are running hard.
Look at these handballs. They're pumping them out. One too many, perhaps. Can Carlton trap it? Russell's got Foley. Foley hovering over it. Umpire says a bounce.
You're right, Jared. When the game's played like this in close, Carlton are looking good. When the ball escapes, you just suggest Richmond are going to run them off their legs.
Crowded attacking zone for the Blues.
I don't know what I'm paying that one for, Kane.
Ackland. Murphy going without it. Here's Wiggins. Kick partially smothered. Whitnell needs quick hands. He's gone. Not his night.
He's had a dirty night, but you can't take any away from Darren Gaspar either. It's a great match-up from Terry Wallace, but he just is having a very dirty night, the Carlton skipper, Lance Whitnell.
And an important year for Darren Gaspar at 30 years of age. We'll be hoping to stay injury-free as he delivers to half-back. This is Patrick Bowden. He burns off the Blues with ease there, delivering to the wing, but Stevens with the intercept. Carlton on the counter-attack. Houlihan in the middle.
They just lost their way here, the Blues. They are really struggling for senior leadership.
Pettifer's on.
Stevens is the one exception.
Newman delivers towards Richardson. O'Halpin, good spoil. He's kept Richo to 2 second quarter goals. Houlihan to the wing. Good ball. Fisher. Stevens full of run. Can he keep it in? Boundary throw-in as Kelvin Moore is there.
I reckon the skipper, Lance Whitnell, will be on about it his last 5 minutes. It's not working. They've got other guys like a Matthew Lappin who can go forward and kick goals just to change it up a little bit.
Or even put him to centre half back. Just try something different.
Holding on, Mark Murphy, kick, holding on.
It's a Carlton free kick going to Murphy against Polo for holding on. You heard the call, and Murphy does well. He goes quickly for Vola, leading out. Spoiled Joel Bowden. Fisher robes, goal square unguarded. It bounces through. Brad Fisher delivers a much-needed goal for Carlton, and they're back to within 21 points.
Well, you put the ball in a dangerous spot, and Fisher, look, great awareness. Great, look, kick the ball to a contest, something will happen. Just get it in there quick. Good contest from Fev there, right? And great front and square again. We have seen probably 5 or 6 of the best front and square goals I've seen in about 2 or 3 years, Clinton.
And that one provided by Brad Fisher. So they stay in touch for this MCG finals-like crowd of up close to 60,000, you would think. Can they get the next one? There's a free kick there for a hold. It's Nick Stevens. It's advantage. It's play on. It's Favola on the lead.
Oh, good spoil.
Joel Bowden, terrific. Murphy, still Carlton go. Betts trying to gather it. Does. Bentic, Simpson, Favola. Oh! Back to Simpson. Back to Waite. It was labour intensive, and they've missed it.
It's a great passage of play, except the finish. And good on Fev. He was going to lay it off. But the best sign for the Blues there is that Mark Murphy's starting to get a bit of footing.
Well, if you're going to make a mistake, and Fev did then, he made a mistake playing team football.
Well, he had to handball. There was no way that you could kick anyway, but it's exciting stuff.
It was.
What about Bowden's ball about a minute earlier? That was terrific. Great forward, great kick, great lead, and Bowden just got his fingertips on it.
Now it's broken wide. He should end up with it, but no vision.
Moore coming to the northern side will be on the end of this kick.
It's amazing the expectations coming to this game. On the back of Terry Wallace's comments,
yes.
I think everybody thought that the Tigers were going to limp into this match, etc. But they just look in great nick.
Oh, what a steal by Brad Fisher. The boundary umpire was miles away, had no chance. And Whitnell just could not get the bounce of the ball.
Lance is having one of those nights.
He wouldn't want to get a game at 2 up because he'd definitely lose every toss. He just cannot buy a trick. Have a look at this. It's a great kick, and then the ball just spills away from him.
The breaks of the game. 11 minutes of playing time to go in the third quarter. Howard with a centering ball.
Good work,
Russell put his body on the line, affected the spoil. Carlton winning the contested ball now. The Tigers with possession here through Johnson going to the wing. Patrick Bowden sizes up his options, measured it nicely for Delidio. And he can stab it to Richardson.
But Delidio's work off half-back is really hurting the Blues. And Russell has just got to be able to stick with him. If he's going to run, you can't be involved at the half-back line or his half-forward line and then give him 4 or 5 metres grace closer to goal.
Richardson with 2 goals in the second quarter, a poster in the first term. He kicked 45-40 last year in his 18 games. Good enough to be the Tigers' best, and now 11-time leading goal kicker at punt row.
It's been a bad spot tonight, this particular spot.
And that trend continues.
Rowan Smith on the boundary line, Matthew Lappin off, and Heath Scotland that hasn't had much of it, he comes on.
Yeah, I think Heath Scotland, I think they've got to put him into the midfield. He's such a good ball generator and a good user. If he gets his hands in the midfield and kicking it up to Favola, it's going to take a long, long way.
It's a fair point. Scotland last year averaging 27 possessions a game, just 7 so far this evening. As that's well read by Casper, whose hand pass was a touch of anxiety for Delidio, who gathers, feeds Patrick Bowden, goes wide to the outer side, and McGuan's got it. Richardson. Tigers patient, leading by 20 points. They beat Carlton in both matches last year by 8 and 45 points, respectively, in rounds 5 and 20.
And they've pushed Richo up the ground because they want to get Graham Polak into the goal square with Kane Ackland as the full back. And I think that's a pretty smart operation here by the Tigers, because Polak can't kick goals, but he can certainly mark them close.
You heard the call, not 15, the kick to Rains. He was caught by Betts. Tigers still a chance and win out. It's Hyde who darts away with the goodies. Kicks to full forward. Thornton, good spoil. Gibbs to Stevens.
Jeez, he's run some Ks tonight.
Hasn't he been terrific? Nick Stevens with 20 possessions in the game. Carlton, are they mucking around with it here? No. Good fend off by Walker. And the kick's got enough carry too. That was neat. Bentic. Oh, that's 50.
Yeah, well called, Clinton.
Just holding on too long. Dean Polo pleading his case, but we saw it yesterday, including a crucial late call in the Kangaroos-Collingwood game, and there was consistency there.
It was a good 50, and it was...
Is it another 50?
He drew it from Nick Stevens trying to receive a handball. You see Stevens, his work rate.
Yeah.
The Dean Polo assumed he was going to handball. Great run from Nick Stevens.
Gee, it's an important kick now, isn't it, for Adam Bentic?
Leave yourself open to interpretation. I thought it was a hole. Thanks, mate.
Martin Ellis providing the description. So this could be back-to-back goals for the Blues to get them within 14 points. Danny's called it a goal. It's perfect. The comeback is on.
Well, it's on the back of a number of people's work ethic, but the one that has been singled out is Nick Stevens. And he will run himself into the ground. He's in great nick, and he's got himself set, I think, for a big year, a year where he makes a statement about his career. But they just have to have a couple of others help him out. Kate Simpson has to find some footy, and I think that Rowan Smith is right. Heath Scotland, who's now on a wing, has got to start to lift his work rate and get some of the footy.
You're spot on, Jared. Regardless of whether Carlton win or not, Dennis Payne will be showing the Nick Stevens gut running here tonight.
8 goals, 8 goal kickers for the Blues. They're back to within 14. Look at him go. It is the Nick Stevens show on this Sunday night. Maybe Fev lost it in the lights. His second effort is good. How is he done?
He's just not sharp tonight, Fev, whether it's the injury or he's just having one of those bad ones. Very difficult when you're struggling to get out on the track. It's hard to maintain that polish, but 1-3 and a couple of misses. He's got to find the big space.
The last thing they need here, Carlton, is a 2-goal turnaround from that miss.
Good spoil by Waite. Boundary throw in. The margin is 13 points.
Straight up. Let him run off the footy.
Dennis Pagan barking out the instructions. 33 free kicks awarded in the match as the Blues momentum has swung the last 5 minutes.
Been good, Walker.
Walker kicks long. Fev's caught behind Bowden, but spoils very well. Opens the door for Eddie Betts. Sends a rainmaker to the top of the square. Kennedy. He's got a bright future this.
Well, he's not having a great night, Fed, but I tell you what, Jerry, he doesn't get a mark, kick or handball, but the spoil created the shot on goal. And it was a great kick there from Betts. Just, again, you put the ball to a dangerous spot, it pays dividends.
Kennedy becomes Carlton's 9th goal kicker. They've got the last 3 and it's game on again.
And Josh Kennedy, the future. Right now, Lance Whitnell cooling his heels on the bench. There's the spoil you spoke about, but Eddie crumbed and cleaned up, and Josh Kennedy stuck his hands in the air and hit him on the chin.
Well, that's a big improvement for Vola, though, Jared. He's had a couple of misses in the past. He'd spit the dummy and put his hands on his hips. He's in the game, and I reckon that's a real positive for Brendan Favola.
Talk about the future. There's Big Red. He's just got to find some footy somewhere, and he may come on even in the ruck, Danny, just to get him into the game and get some ball. But right now, the pace is not helping him. This game is electric.
Ackland letting it down. Carazzo running onto it. Clearances going Carlton's way for the time being. Johnson will be able to run onto this one. He slips over. Kennedy closed fast. Betts was even faster. Carlton, can they prize it clear? Not quite. Tivendale runs into Carazzo. Now there's a high one. Tiger free.
See, both sides are just going hard at the ball and hard at the body.
6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Gasper with Favola closing. Look out! In the back.
Tough decision for the umpire, but I think he's got it right in the finish.
Yeah, look, he got it right, but at least Brendan is putting some pressure on, probably a little bit overzealous there, Jared, as we see here on the replay. But he's intent. That's what I like about it, he's intent.
He is highly combustible right now.
He is very Darren Gasper.
A momentary lull here at the MCG. As I mentioned, Carlton with the clearances of late. Patrick Bowden with the football on half back. Oh!
Favola,
terrible
one-on-one.
kick. Favola for Walker. Behind.
Well, down on the boundary line, Rowan, Carlton have changed their tactics.
Yeah, they certainly have, Jared. They are going one-on-one all over the ground here, and they've just really shut Richmond's run down. Richmond are just really trying to get some run. They're gut running through the middle, but Carlton just shut it down.
You're right, Rowan. They're closing the gap, which forces Richmond to kick to a contest, and at the moment, Carlton are winning all those contests. Ball hits the ground, and away Carlton go.
Ryan Houlihan, I think everybody is just trying to draw breath here. You look back at the scoreboard, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, the Blues are just one scoring shot behind. And Rowan, Eddie Betts having a bit of a rest. Have a look at him. We'll get our camera if we can. He is absolutely without breath. Could have used a few there, but I didn't.
He's absolutely spent. He's just grabbed a drink and he's just walking along the boundary line, and he's got a little bit of the wobbles up actually too.
Well, Mark Murphy just come onto the ground. He's going to play in the back pocket on Cam Howard, so hopefully he can get some run out of Mark Murphy there.
Andrew Walker also off the ground. He really is struggling, but Nick Stevens just continues to run hard. And Carazzo, who hasn't had as much of the footy as normal, will not give up because his work rate's superb. And this time he comes up and gets a free kick, goes backwards. And Mark Murphy, Danny, is starting to slowly get the numbers right. I think he's had 7 possessions in this term.
You're right, and Dennis is putting behind the ball, Jared, and that's a great thing to have. Playing the midfield, didn't find it, but now he's gone behind the ball and he's starting to generate some pace. Great play there from O'Helper.
Satanda, I should say.
Santa. All these Christmases are coming at once.
Wiggins, long, Favola the spoil, boundary throwing.
Santa. It's Easter, Jared.
That's round 1. Look at Fev. He can sense the moment, Fev.
Something's going to happen.
Deep in attack. A goal to level the scores.
Oh, Gibbs.
Consider the scores level. Four goals to none in the last 13 minutes have brought the Blues back from the brink, and we're tied away at 77.
Well, Carlton supporters watching this,